Hey gang, JC here, and this is the Daily Dose for Thursday, June 2nd, 2011, a combined venture with Mind Active in beautiful downtown Brentwood. Great archives, top of the page, and then at the bottom we have eye candy. We put all that stuff in the archives too. Of course, we are on the air. When I say we, I'm talking about me and Trish Gazelle. Trish is trash. We're on every day on the Big 550 KTRS from 10 in the morning until 1, but that show is moving a week from Monday, June 13th. We take over the noon to 3 slot. So the show is moving a little over about 10 days now on Monday, June 13th. News show time, noon until 3 o'clock on the Big 550 KTRS. I don't know if you've been watching any of this Casey Anthony trial, but I haven't watched. I just see like the little bits and pieces on the news and the tabloid shows and some of the news programs that I watch, but it's just absolutely amazing. And an announcer covering the Casey Anthony trial for True TV, an anchor by the name of Vinny Politan, was providing commentary for trial coverage during a particularly grueling day of testimony by Cindy Anthony, and he was caught making a comment. It's one of those deals where when you're in television, you just have to always assume that your microphone is on, or hot, as we say in the business. And you can't be saying stuff because invariably it will go out over the air. You know, eventually it'll catch up with you. Maybe you'll say a bunch of stuff and you'll be fooling around with the people back at the station who are listening in their earpieces, or the guy in the truck outside running the controls and all that. But eventually it will catch up with you and something will go out of the air that you're not supposed to be saying. He made a comment about her form-fitting outfit then during a lull in questioning this guy on True TV, Vinny Politan. His microphone was on, he didn't know it, and he said the only thing you're going to see now are her boobs sticking out today. Showtime. All right, remember this former professional wrestler by the name of Chyna? She was not pretty, but she was, some guys thought she was sort of, I don't know. Some guys thought she was attractive. She looked like a dude to me, and she was built like one too. Since her pro wrestling days have ended, she ended up on a sex tape, and apparently that went so well, she has decided to do, as they say, legitimate porn. And so she has a new movie, a new porn called Backdoor to Chyna, and it is exactly what you would think with a title like that. So, welcome to the world of adult films, Chyna. All right, Michael Kamrava, the fertility doctor responsible for the Octomom, has lost his license, and it was pretty much because he had implanted 12 embryos inside the Octomom back in 2008 that resulted in the birth of the octuplets. But this guy also was negligent with 2 other patients, a 48-year-old woman who had complications after becoming pregnant with quadruplets at 48, and then a 42-year-old woman who contracted ovarian cancer after fertility treatments. That guy's going away. Speaking of going away, Billy Bob Thornton has a 32-year-old daughter. He is estranged from her, and she has been convicted of aggravated manslaughter in the death of a friend's 1-year-old daughter in Orlando, Florida, 3 years ago. Shaquille O'Neal says, that's enough. I'm going to just do my Icy Hot commercials and be a cop and that sort of stuff. He is retiring from the NBA. This came as a great surprise to NBA fans who believed that Shaq stopped playing about 3 years ago. Shaq says he's looking forward to spending more time with his families. Sarah Palin continues to tool around the country in her unofficial I'm not really running for president tour. Yesterday in New York, somebody taped a sign to her overly patriotic bus calling her a media whore. That sounds about right. This is bad luck. All right, so this 20-year-old college student, University of Alabama, you remember about a month ago, down there in Tuscaloosa, I mean, the place just got flattened. Some of the worst tornadoes to rip through the South in years, and she's down there at the University of Alabama. So finally they wrap up school, and she moves back home to, you guessed it, Joplin, Missouri, where her family gets all of their stuff wiped out there too. Man, don't sit next to this chick in a ball game and get struck by lightning. 78-year-old woman died on May 2nd in New York, and in her will, she left her $300,000 estate to Family Radio. Remember the guy who was predicting the end of the world? Well, it didn't happen, and now the family wants the money back. Lawyers say, guess what? You're not getting it back. More and more restaurant servers are ditching the pen and paper and just memorizing people's orders. I don't think that ever ends well, but restaurants have found it creates better trust and a connection between the server and customers. Is that what we want? We want a connection between ourselves and our servers? No, we just want the meal to show up hot and quickly, and if you need something refilled or something, that's we don't want a relationship with our servers, and we just want them to get it right. Oh, and by the way, if I'm drinking white soda, don't come by with a pitcher of water, and when you see my glass is half empty, and then pour water into my white soda. It happens all the time. And also, if I ask for another Coke or another drink or whatever the case may be, don't take the one that I have on my table in front of me already and go refill that. I'm still working on that one, and it might be a couple of minutes before you come back with a fresh drink. Leave my drink alone. That's mine. Go get me a new cup with a new Gallup. These are the people who do the polls, presidential polls, popularity polls, opinion polls, all that sort of stuff. And very reputable company, by the way, not like those morons at Rasmussen. Gallup just released the results of a poll asking Americans whether certain behaviors were morally acceptable or morally wrong. Here we go. Doctor-assisted suicide was the closest thing. It's a 50-50 split. 45 say it's acceptable, 48% say that it's wrong. It beat out the number 2 finisher, abortion. Interestingly, 39% of people say abortion is morally acceptable. 51% say it's wrong. Homosexuality is now tied for the 4th most divisive issue in the country. 56% of people say it's morally acceptable. 39% say it's wrong. The issue with the most consensus is married people having affairs. 7% say an affair is morally acceptable. 91% say it's wrong. Polygamy got the next highest consensus, with 86% of the people saying it's wrong. Of all the controversial issues on the list, divorce has the most morally acceptable votes. 69% of people say it's acceptable versus 23% say it's not. It even beat out premarital sex, which only 60% of people approved of. This is very interesting. A very fascinating look at this sort of cafeteria-style, buffet-style approach to morality we have in this country these days. All right, we've talked about this before. The Hollywood Reporter, it's a big show business and entertainment industry magazine out in California. And they put out a list of the top 15 TV shows that old people watch. Almost all of them are on CBS. Top 5 are Harry's Law, The Good Wife, CSI New York, Chaos on CBS, and Blue Bloods. That's pretty sad. And then they came out with the top 15 shows that young whippersnappers watch. Top 5. Here we go. Number 5, American Dad, Bob's Burgers at 4, Family Guy, The Cleveland Show, and Gossip Girl at number 1. But, you start looking at it, basically for every 9 21-year-old girls probably watching Gossip Girl, there's like some creepy 100-year-old man watching that show and getting off on it. Speaking of ratings, Glee doesn't always make a big splash in the ratings, but that doesn't mean it's going anywhere. In fact, last week's season finale cracked the top 5, 11.8 million viewers. That's pretty good. More than 29 million people tuned in to watch Scotty McCreery be crowned the 10th American Idol. All right, it was on this date, 1989, that after announcing his engagement 2 months earlier, 52-year-old Rolling Stones bassist Bill Wyman married 19-year-old Mandy Smith. He'd been seeing her since she was 13. Wyman divorced the girl when she got too old for him. 2 years later, not long after that, Wyman's son started nailing Mandy's mom. A family tree looks like this. We actually figured out that with all this that there was a point at which Bill Wyman could have actually ended up his own grandfather. All right, JC's Eye Candy today. This HBO production of Game Change, the award-winning novel. Halperin and those guys put that thing together. He's got a co-writer. I can't remember his name right now. But anyhow, they have casted, and the movie is starting to be shot, and it'll be on HBO very, very soon. We have pictures of Julianne Moore as Sarah Palin and John McCain being portrayed by Ed Harris. There it is right there, and you can look at it a little better here on Eye Candy right below the page. All right, so that's it. JC's Daily Dose for Thursday, June 2nd, 2011, a combined venture with Mind Active in beautiful downtown Brentwood. Short week this week, and it's warm, it's summer. I don't care, 97, come on, I'll take it. In the meantime, we've beaten this one to death. Have a good one. See you later, bye.